Welcome to you all to the second video lecture on electricity for class 10th. So in the first video, we did go through what an electric circuit is and what electric current is and what is the unit for measuring electric current. And here in this lecture session, we should see what is electric potential and what is potential difference. Now we have observed that the flow of electrons in a given circuit is referred to as current. So if I want the charges or the electrons essentially which flow in the given circuit or in a conductor, we need to spend energy. So some energy has to be spent to make sure that these charge carriers flow through the conductor. And when these electrons or the charge carriers flow through the conductor, then some work is done. So now the question is, when do the charges flow? Now charges cannot flow as it is. Now let us consider water. Now if I want water to flow and if the pipe is completely horizontal and flat, then water will not flow. So but if the pipe is inclined, wherein there is a height difference, then water will easily flow because of the gravitational force. So there has to be some kind of a pressure difference, an electric pressure difference for the electrons to flow. Just like if I want water to flow, it will flow from a higher level to a lower level. So similarly, there has to be some difference so that the electrons flow. And that difference is referred to as the potential difference. So the difference of potential which exists between any 2 points is referred to as electric potential. Now how is this electric potential or the potential difference maintained in a given circuit? Now we know that the potential difference is maintained by a battery. So we have a battery here which is made up of one or more electric cells. And the potential difference is maintained on, so the potential difference is actually maintained on the two terminals of a battery even when there is no connection. So even when you have not connected any wire and a load to the battery, the potential difference is maintained. Now how is this potential difference maintained? The chemical action produces the potential difference between the 2 points. If I call this point as A and B of the two sides of the battery, so the chemical action produces a potential difference even when there is no current flow. So when I do not connect any wire, then there is no flow of current. So even when there is no flow of current, there is potential difference maintained, right? So therefore, when a conducting medium is connected, so when I connect a wire, say a bulb, to the either sides of a battery, what happens? The potential difference which is present across the terminals of the electric cell or the battery makes the charges to flow through the conductor, thereby producing electric current. So the cell here, the electric cell here has to spend energy, has to spend the stored chemical energy to make sure that the charges flow through the conductor. So therefore we define the electric potential. So you have the electric potential difference across the two terminals of the battery here. So how do we define electric potential difference between 2 points in an electric circuit carrying current? So the electric potential difference between any 2 points of an electric circuit carrying some current is the work done to move one unit of charge from one point to another. So some work is done to move a unit charge from one point to another, and that is referred to as the electric potential difference in an electric circuit. So therefore, the electric potential difference which is measured in volts, so the electric potential difference in volts is nothing but the work done. The units of work done is joules divided by the charge Q. So how do we define 1 volt? So 1 volt is nothing but 1 joule divided by 1 coulomb. So how do I define 1 volt? 1 volt is the potential difference between any 2 points in a current carrying conductor where 1 joule of work is done to move 1 coulomb of charge from one point to another. Again, let me repeat. So what is 1 volt? How do I define 1 volt? 1 volt is the potential difference between any 2 points of a conductor when 1 joule of work is done to move 1 coulomb of charge from one point to another. Okay, so therefore 1 volt equals 1 joule divided by 1 coulomb. Now how do I measure the potential difference? Now if I want to know the potential difference between these 2 points x and y, I have to connect a device which measures the potential difference, and that is referred to as the voltmeter. So voltmeter is the device which is used to measure the potential difference, and it is connected across. Like if I need to find the height, the distance, the height difference between point A and B, I need to measure between these 2 points, right? This is A and this is point B. So I need to measure the height difference between these 2 points. So similarly, if I have to measure the potential difference between the 2 points x and y, I have to connect a voltmeter across x and y. So therefore, the voltmeter is a device which is connected in parallel between the 2 points where I need to measure the potential difference. Right? So with this, let us go through the example. Example 12.2. The question is how much of work is done. So how much of work is done to move a charge of 2 coulomb across 2 points having a potential difference of 12 volts. So we know that the potential difference V equals work done divided by the total charge Q. So the charge is given, which is 2 coulombs, so Q equals 2C, and the voltage V equals 12 volts, and I need to find the work done W. So therefore W equals V into Q, which is 12 into 2, which is 24 joules. Right? Next, 12.2, there are a few questions. So name the device, the first one, name the device which helps to maintain the potential difference across a conductor. So in order to maintain the potential difference across a conductor, what do I use? I use a battery or an electric cell. So the answer for the first one is a battery or an electric cell. So an electric cell or a battery is actually used so that there is potential difference maintained between 2 points of a current carrying conductor. Question 2. What is meant by saying that the potential difference between 2 points is 1 volt? So when I say that between 2 points A and B, the potential difference is 1 volt, it essentially means that 1 joule of work is done to move a charge of 1 coulomb from point A to B. So I say that the potential difference between the 2 points A and B is 1 volt if 1 joule of work is done to move a charge of 1 coulomb between the 2 points considered. Next, 3. How much energy is given to each coulomb of charge passing through a battery of 6 volts? So the voltage is 6 volts, and how much of energy is given to each coulomb? So Q equals 1 coulomb. So I want to know how much of energy is given to each coulomb when the potential difference is 6 volts. So we know that from here W equals V into Q, which is 6 into 1, which is 6 joules. So how much of energy is given? So 6 joules of energy is given to a charge of 1 coulomb. So 6 joules of energy is given to, so 6 joules of energy is actually given to each coulomb of charge passing through a 6 volt battery. Right? So very simple question here. Now, before we move on to Ohm's law, we also have the general circuit representation which we shall see. So 12.3, how do I represent an electric cell? So an electric cell is represented in this way. So I have a positive and a negative. So this is an electric cell. So if I want to represent a battery is nothing but a combination of electric cells. So you have the electric cells which are connected in series. A plug key is nothing but a switch. So if the switch is open, so this is nothing but a switch. So if the switch is open, we represent it like this. That means there is no flow of current when the switch is open or when the plug key is open. But when the switch is closed, if I represent it like this, that means the switch is closed and there is flow of current. So this is how we represent. Next, a wire joint. So if I have to represent a wire joint, it is like this. But if I have a wire crossing is represented in this way. So how is it? It's something like a flyover, isn't it? You have a road and a flyover on top. They don't meet. So wire crossing is essentially that, and this is how it is represented. And then an electric bulb. An electric bulb representation is very simple. So this represents an electric bulb. And then we have a resistor. A resistor is represented like this. What about a variable resistor? A variable resistor, or it is also referred to as rheostat. So variable resistance or rheostat is represented like this. So a rheostat or a variable resistance is essentially a device wherein you can actually vary the resistance. So when you do practical experiments, you would be using a rheostat or a variable resistor where you can actually vary the resistance. And the device which is used to measure the current is known as ammeter with a name. So this is an ammeter, and the device which is used to measure the voltage is referred to as a voltmeter. So let me again repeat, the ammeter is connected in series to measure the current, whereas the voltmeter is connected in parallel in an electric circuit to measure the voltage between the two terminals. So in this video we have gone through what electric potential is and what is potential difference, and we have also gone through a few questions, and we have seen the various representations of all the various components which are used in an electric circuit, starting from an electric cell, battery and so on up to ammeter and voltmeter. So in the next video segment we shall go through one of the most important laws, which happens to be the Ohm's law, and we'll define what resistance is and what resistivity is. So do make sure that you like, share and subscribe, and press the bell icon to get notifications of all the further uploads, and click on the eye icon to view all the other videos of science for class 10th, and go through the playlist to view all the other videos including mathematics for class 10th, which is present in the playlist. You will find the lectures, you will find maths lectures for class 10th and science lectures for class 10th in the playlist, so do not forget to do that, and to join the Telegram group to get regular updates on 10th videos and other posts and information. The link is there. You can join the Telegram group. The link has been given in the description, so make sure that you join, and thanks for watching.